beautiful sun in Aquarius. Welcome into this reading. We are celebrating you and your energy all solar season of Aquarius, which goes from January 19th until February 18th. The energy of Aquarius is all about unconventionalism. It's all about spontaneity. It's all about innovation, originality. It's all about being social, and it's about being a humanitarian. And so we are celebrating and highlighting this energy all solar month. I am celebrating you. I have been knee deep in your energy all day long as I've been doing these readings, and I'm so excited to get to your advice that's coming through. Thank you so much for everything that you bring into the world. I'm very excited to offer you this birthday gift as a thank you for the energy that you put into this beautiful astrological journey that we are all on. I really love the focus on humanity that you offer, especially at this time as the age of Aquarius is so present in our lives, and as the human collective is really going through a lot and really needing us all to step up into the service that we came here to provide in this world. So thank you so much for your energy. If you're new to my readings, hello and welcome in. If you're not new, welcome back in. We are going to be using the sacred tools of the cards in order to really tap into guidance that's relevant for you and your life. My intention with these readings is always that they are aligned with your highest good and the highest good of all, and that they help to guide you back to the wise, instinctive knowing within yourself. Ultimately, that's the goal of any spiritual tool that's aligned and in your best interest, because the goal is to get back to our own knowing, our own listening. Through the non-randomness mechanisms of the universe, we play with the cards, and we allow the cards to give us the messages that we most need to receive now with the intentions that we're setting. So that's kind of how it works. We're just setting the intention that we'll get the card that we need, and it's so accurate. It's kind of spooky, but kind of fun too to play with. So if you haven't already set up a space where you're like comfortable and cozy and like totally ready to dive into this, and you have like your spirit team with you, whatever that means for you, whether it's your higher self, your pet, your stuffed animals, I don't know, whatever it is, your gemstones, your spiritual tools, bring those into your space so that you can really make this a special moment for yourself. Give yourself the gift of this reading and the time to watch it. I do recommend about an hour to watch it. Not that it'll take that long, but you might want to pause the video and write down what's coming through, especially what's really relevant for you. I recommend watching the readings with a journal so that you can integrate and process the information. That's just how I work, and that's how I recommend watching these readings. It's not necessary. Again, it is recommended because you want to be not only writing down the cards that come through, not only writing down the guidance that I'm saying, but also writing down what's coming through for you. Because again, that's the critical part of this. That's the part that I'm really looking to activate within you, is the knowing within yourself. So as you look at a card, as you hear the messages and the words that I'm offering, you have your own associations with that. And it's your own associations with that that's really speaking to you loudest and clearest, because that's your own knowing. That's your own relationship with the symbols, with the words, with the concepts that I'm bringing forth here in this reading, or that are coming forth in this reading for you. And your own interpretation of those items, symbols, themes, people, is most important and most relevant for you and most accurate for you. I am an intuitive person who trusts in the flow of the universe and trusts in the cards, but I'm not psychically tapping into you. I am intending that any Aquarius that is aligned to receive this video and aligned to watch this video is going to receive the information that they need and that's supported, but I actually don't know who's going to be in this mix of people. I always use the pendulum to douse who to send it to. So if you got this, the pendulum gave me the okay to send this to you, and it's really supportive for you at this time to watch it, because that's my intention, or you wouldn't be watching it and receiving it. So you can speak to and call in any energies you work with outside of yourself to be here present with you. It's not necessary, but they love this kind of thing. So if you work with God, goddess, angels, guardians, ancestors, fairies, star families, mythological creatures, the elements, you can call them in to be in this space with you. And you can set an intention. Whatever intention that you are setting, know that my intention again is that it's aligned with your highest good and that it guides you back to the wise instinctive knowing within. The first card here is the Sacred Rebel deck. It is the card that's going to give you the advice that you need to hear right now, that's going to help you in your service to humanity this month. And again, when I say month, I'm talking about the Solar Month of Aquarius, so that's from the 19th of January to the 18th of February. There is your Sacred Rebel answer. Spirals of Manifestation, number 18, which might have significance to you. Let's read what her card has to say. The creative, rebellious path of love moves in spirals. It is not linear. Sometimes our mind decides that the way forward is to take clear steps from one point to the next logical point. However, there is a genius within that can guide us on an alternative route. If there is an unnecessary pothole or delay in the typical linear path of progression, and the curved loop in the path will be quicker, more fun, more beautiful, then why not allow yourself to be guided to that path? This can happen through trust and wisdom rather than rigid adherence to what on the surface appears to be logical progression. Well, that shouldn't be too hard for you Aquarians, as unconventional movement and spontaneity is part of your makeup and what makes you shine. This is your solar alignment, so we're talking about the energy that makes you shine. You are in the midst of a spiral of manifestation. Something is coming into being, even if you think it's further away than ever before. How amazing it will seem when what you have been dreaming of falls into place. Suddenly, what you have been thinking of creating will plunk into your reality, seemingly out of nowhere, because it was just around the bend, just out of view on the spiral of manifestation, and you could not see it coming. In truth, it was coming to you all along. This oracle has a message for you. Sometimes when we feel furthest away from what we want, we are actually closer than ever before. Just one turn of the spiral loop of creation can see your manifestation taking root in the world. You must hold true to keep your faith and keep working on your progress. Forget about believing it when you are seeing it. Any old soul or young soul can do that. You are a braver, bigger, more ancient soul. You have enough chutzpah to believe it so that you can see it sooner, bigger, and brighter. And don't give in to those who tell you it should have happened already or that you have failed. They are suffering from a lack of patience and understanding, as well as an arrogant assumption that their notion of timing is somehow superior to the greater divine timing at play of life. Be in goodwill with yourself and the universe. All is unfolding perfectly, whether you feel it or not. This oracle brings you the message about the perfect synchronicities that are taking place in your life. You may have started to notice those already. When we live from the heart, honor our creative center, and choose unlikely but loving rebellious ways to live in the world, we will begin to notice synchronicity every day. It is as though the universe is speaking to us intimately on all matters, which of course it is. This oracle reminds you that there's no point in rushing to the bus stop. If you're there way too early, you're just wasting your time. Better to live your life at a more appropriate pace and get there at the right time. You don't need the anxiety that comes from rushing towards your destiny. Try not to worry quite so much about the future. You will attract what you want and need so much more enjoyably if you relax and deal with the here and now. Remember, too, that your life path is unfolding in harmony with the path of others. You will meet with each other for the greatest benefit when you trust in the flow of the one great creative spiral upon which this galaxy spins. Everything is ultimately in harmony with everything else to fulfill the great big creative intent of the supreme creative force of love. You're included in that. Lucky. So here is a manifestation. I recommend you write this down and repeat it in the morning and at night for the most power to have with it. I don't know what words I was looking for. There. To bring it into your awareness daily. So you might need to put captions on so you can see what I'm saying, or just pause and write this down. Spirals of creation. Spirals of light. You bring my manifestation to life. I trust in your wisdom and in your grace. Help me be wise and keep the faith. Through unconditional love, so be it. I love this message for you, Aquarius. You're just around the bend of what it is that you are desiring. Keep going. Take the unconventional routes that you're inspired to take and trust. So we're going to support this with clarifiers from the Modern Mystic Tarot by Crystal Doty. She is a beautiful soul. She's modernized the the traditional tarot and brought it into modern times so that we can kind of have a more relevant experience of it. It's a great deck. She's a great person. She's my mentor. She's the one who trained me in all of this fun stuff. So I just love to share her with you guys. She's on Facebook and YouTube. She does readings as well. So if you're called to work with her, please do so. We're going to find out how to support this spirals of manifestation, this trusting in the unknown, and just in this work that you're doing for the human collective. We're going to find out what's going on that you need to know in your spiritual world, your physical world, your emotional world, and your mental world. Let's get the cards. Is this top card the spiritual card? Is the bottom card the physical card? Is this top card the emotional card? All right, we'll keep shuffling to find the emotional card. What's going on in my Sun in Aquarius emotional world? There it is. And what's going on in your mental world? Feels like it's this one. Let me see. Is this what's going on in Aquarius' mental world? All right, my friend. Spiritually, you have the Four of Air. Make time for yourself. Meditate, stand back, and review the situation. So this is in your spiritual life. So this is make meditation part of your spiritual practice, whatever spiritual means to you. So this is your belief system. This is your connection to source, whatever you call that energy. This is the routines and practices that you give power and authority in your life, and the energy with which you feel you're co-creating with in the universe. So it's asking you to meditate. It's pretty plain and simple. Go and meditate. Allow yourself to get into this state. If you don't know anything about meditation or you're like, Paige, that is not something that I'm going to go do, well, maybe it's time to explore it, okay? Because it's truly a powerful practice. The here and now, as this card was talking about, the here and now is where your power is. Meditation brings you to the here and now with such clarity and such focus and such chutzpah, as the card was saying, that it gives you so much creative energy to work with to influence your reality and to influence your spiritual world and to connect with your spiritual world. So it really is a practice that I'm recommending for you. Do a guided meditation. You can go to Insight Timer. That's a great app that I use. You can just go to YouTube and Google a certain meditation, meditation for connecting to source or whatever it is that you want to focus your meditation on. Sometimes when you're starting, it's just good to do like a breathing meditation. So just doing a breathing meditation or a body relaxation to start off with. I'm not going to spend a lot of time talking about meditation here because it's something that I could literally talk about for hours. So reach out to me if you want more ideas on a meditative practice. Okay, if that feels aligned to you, please reach out to me so that I can share with you all that I know about meditation. But this card is certainly guiding you to meditate to amplify your spiritual world. Physically, you have the Page of Water. Learning intuition. This is about sensitivity, lightheartedness, finding magic, and your daydreams leading to successful ideas. This is happening in your physical world. So maybe you are feeling like a child in your physical world. Maybe there is a child in your physical world because she's sitting there with her cute little puppy. But you are learning about your intuition and you're seeing the results of your intuitive guidance. When you follow that intuitive guidance, you're seeing physical results. So perhaps like this guidance on how to avoid the detours and not take the next logical step, but you just have this intuitive knowing like, maybe I should just do this instead. And you go do that and you see the physical results of it. You're learning about your intuition in a physical way this month. That's really helping to support you in trusting these spirals of manifestation that are unfolding for you. What's going on in your emotional world is inauthenticity. Number 15. I just like to say the numbers because sometimes they are relevant. Masks, deception, being misled, ego, and fear-based decisions. So your heart may be in a little bit of fear. Your heart may be masking itself to others, not showing itself to others. You might be fearful of what's going on in the world, and that's like really affecting your heart. So just so much love and so much compassion for you as you process this inauthenticity in your heart, and know that whatever it is that's causing you fear, whatever it is that's causing you to doubt, it's going to clear up, okay? Especially as this like next turn of the spiral of manifestation happens, you're really going to see the results and the power of the manifestation spiral, and it's going to like help you see that maybe there wasn't as much to fear as you thought. I'm just tapping in here to see if there's anything else. When this card comes up, I always say take off the mask, and that's just like allow yourself to drop the game. Allow yourself to drop whatever inauthenticity you have in your heart, okay, in your emotional world. Just drop it. It's time to take it off. It's time to be done with it. It's time to let the ego rest and let the voice of spirit. This is probably why the spirit is part of your world is asking for meditation, so that you can get clear on what the voice of source sounds like, what the voice of love sounds like, what your own inner voice of love sounds like, so that the voice of the ego isn't so present in your heart, okay? It's like talking too much. No more. Especially because it's misleading you. Your heart's misleading you, and I don't want that for you. I don't want that for anybody. Meditation is going to help you out of that, and trusting your intuition and taking the steps to follow is going to help you to see in a physical way and give you proof that when you just trust your intuitive guidance that you're right on. Mentally, you have the Two of Fire. This is achievement, courage, personal power, and you're on your way. So your mental world is a lot healthier than your emotional world. It's a lot stronger than your emotional world right now. So yeah, it really feels like the work is in this area. This is a major arcana card. Major arcana cards are like the main players of the tarot, and it's like the big hitter. It's like the big theme going on here. So it is the biggest theme going on here in your life for you to know about at this time, and really allowing yourself to address it. We might get more clarity over here in this part of the reading. I'm going to leave that for now, but I might come back to it in a moment. Let's get over here. So this part of the reading is for the moon phases that happen. It's basically my way of taking you through the month and emphasizing the sections of the month with the moon phases. So your new moon in Aquarius is happening on the 1st of February. So these two cards are an affirmation and a goddess advice for the time leading up to your new moon phase and for your new moon phase itself. So this is from the solar shift on the 19th up until the 1st of February. And then we're going to be focusing on the the full moon in Leo, which happens on the 16th of February, 2 days before the sun moves out of your sign into the sign of Pisces. So it's really going to be like the first half of the month and then the second half of the month. So let's get your affirmation for those two moon phases. Let's find out your goddesses. So this the Super Attractor deck was by Gabrielle Bernstein, and this Goddess Power deck is by Colette Baron-Reed. Is this top card the goddess for the new moon? Are any of these other cards the goddess for the full moon? Let's find out what goddess is here for the full moon. Is this top card the goddess for the full moon? Are these other cards part of this read? Alrighty. Here's your affirmation for the new moon. So you would write this down, and I do recommend reviewing these affirmations in the morning and at night, and reviewing the themes that are going on for you, just so you can really stay present with what the advice that came through was. So you would read this all month long. You would read this at the beginning of the month, and you'll read the second one at the end of the month, or second half of the month. Here's your affirmation for the new moon. Appreciation dissolves all blocks to the presence of my super attractor power. I love this. This is all about appreciating what you have. Appreciating without even knowing why you're in appreciation. okay? That is like the key that unlocks all of the unfolding of the universe. Gratitude is such a powerful thing. So I recommend the first half of the month to do a gratitude journal, leading all the way up until the new moon in your sign, to allow yourself every night to write down 3 things you're grateful for. Just 3, simple and easy. And then as things happen, and as you like might be tempted to react to something as like, oh my gosh, that's not a good thing, that's bad, just appreciate it. Be like, I appreciate that. I'm grateful for that. Even though I don't know why, I'm trusting the unfolding. I'm trusting the spiral manifestation of life. I'm trusting the greater unfolding of divine timing. Even though I can't see it right now, I'm going to appreciate it. Because it's like appreciation and anticipation of learning why it was a good thing. If you can do that, you're really allowing yourself to be present in the now, in the moment of appreciation. And wherever you are now is bringing more towards you. So if you're now in the moment of appreciation, more things to appreciate can come towards you. And that's the super attractor power, which just means the super manifestation power. Let's talk about your goddess, Bridget, and creative spark. So here's her message for you. Inspiration and imagination are yours to play with right now. You effortlessly connect to your inner creative spark and make meaningful and beautiful experiences for yourself and others. Take advantage of this fruitful time. When you are so in tune, it is like taking a magical trip to the land of fairy where all that glitters really is gold and your life seems like one grand artistic gesture. The fiery Celtic goddess of creativity calls you to play in the artistry of your life, your work, and your loves. Bridget is whispering her sparkling music deep in your soul. Are you listening? I love this for you. This is so your energy. When the sun is in your sign, it's really like you are amplified. You are shining bright. You're the spotlight of the solar system is on you. And so this creative spark is like you are in flow, you are lit up, and you are just on it. And just being appreciative as you move forward is really going to help bring things to you that are fun and exciting. I love the energy of her, and I love that affirmation for you, combined with the energy she's bringing. Okay, let's talk about the second half of the month, and again, solar month. So up until the full moon in Leo, which happens on the 16th, and then, of course, kind of bleeds over to the next 2 days before the sun moves. I am kind and loving towards others, while creating clear boundaries that protect my good feeling emotions. So I love that there's like this little boundary around here on the outside. This is going to mean to you what it means to you, but this is really about allowing yourself to set boundaries for yourself while being kind and compassionate at the same time. You know, it's not about setting a boundary and telling someone they're wrong or having them shift how they're acting in the world. It's just about setting a boundary with love. Like, no. And, you know, one of my favorite things to say nowadays is no is a complete sentence. You don't have to explain it. You don't have to add more to it. You don't have to give it a whole story. No. Plain and simple, right? That's a way to lovingly set a boundary, okay? Just remember that. It's coming through to share with you. Let's talk about your goddess, number 33, and Mama Kocha. Water is her theme. The world we inhabit began from the oceanic waters of life and the waters that surround us in the womb, both of which are the domain of the Incan goddess Mama Kocha. We are most attuned to the qualities of water as the element of water symbolically represents our emotions. Our emotions move us to make and perceive the world as we know it. The beauty in this truth is found by observing water in all her properties and forms. Water is fluid and passes through cracks and flaws in the ground without stress, moving around obstacles and patiently wearing away even the most jagged rocks until they are smooth and gleaming. Water ebbs and flows, comes and goes in powerful rhythmic motion as the seas and oceans reveal their promise of release and return. Water rises up from the ground and seeds the clouds and then rains upon the earth to ensure growth and to sustain life. Water turns to hard ice and blankets the world in a protective shell, even as soft snow, allowing the dormancy of life to herald a time of dreaming. Then the ice melts and the cycle begins anew. The answer to your question lies in determining What form of water reveals the conditions of your life? Then recognizing the next evolution of your life's potential. If you are in an ebb, you can expect a flow. If things are temporarily frozen, soon they will melt. If it seems that your world is too wet and temporary shelter is needed, you can expect new growth and sunny days again. Mama Kocha reminds you that the waters of your life are perfect as they are now, and just as perfect in the way they will evolve. Unlimited potential is revealed when this goddess comes to visit. I love that she's here for you, just reminding you that water has all different forms. You, my friends, are the water bearers. So a lot of people think Aquarius is a water sign. Not. Aquarius is an air sign. But it is the water bearer because it is the air that lifts the water from the sea and carries it to wherever the rains fall, okay, or wherever the snow falls. So the air is actually the carrier of the water. This is how you interact with water as an air sign. And this is the gift that you offer to the world. As you bear the water, you bear the rains, the snow that comes down. That is your gift. And she's just reminding you that everything has a phase, everything has a cycle, and to allow yourself to know where you are in that flow can help you remove the resistances that you have to it. I was also feeling called to this card, right, because she's talking about how water is the emotions. So recognizing that you're in an inauthentic expression, a form of water that doesn't suit you, and you're going to be moving out of that experience is what was coming through for me. So before we get into the Mercury retrograde part of the reading, I do want to let you know a little bit more about these readings. So these are readings that I do every month, and they're available for anyone, no matter where the current solar sign shows up in their chart. So you have Sun in Aquarius. You actually also might have other planets in Aquarius. You might have other readings waiting for you. You can go ahead and run your chart information. There's a video that I have that'll take you through how to do that, so you can find out where the other planets were when you were born. And there might be another video rating for you if you wanted to sign up for the service this month and get access to that video. You certainly can do that. You can also sign up next month and get the videos for where Pisces shows up in your chart. These videos are only $11.11 a month, and I base them, again, where the astrology shows up for you. So Pisces obviously isn't your sun sign, but it might rule any of the other planets, or might influence some of the other planets, or it might be your ascending sign, so that was the sign that was on the horizon. Or it might just be a background sign. It's not a major player in your life, but obviously it still influences you. There's a reading for those who don't have it prominently showing up in their chart either. The support helps me to do what I do and allows me to continue to be the light worker that I am and to do these readings. So thank you so much for your support. If you decide to go ahead and sign up, you can go to devotedandvulnerable.com/services and sign up for what's called the solar readings. If you want to access them, if you find out you have another planet in Aquarius and wanted to see that reading, which is going to follow the same format, the Pisces reading might be totally different. I kind of tap into the energy of the time and do the readings based off of that. There's also free readings on my site, devotedandvulnerable.com/lunar readings. They're free every week, and they follow the phases of the moon. Okay, that's my little spiel before we get into Mercury retrograde reading. So Mercury went retrograde on the 14th of January, and it'll stay retrograde until it goes direct on the 3rd of February, so the beginning half of the solar month. It went into retrograde in Aquarius, and then we'll move into Capricorn on the 25th of January, which also happens to be the quarter moon in Scorpio, which is a fun fact there. So what we're doing is we're really allowing ourselves to tap into this retrograde energy. Mercury retrograde happens 3 times a year, nothing to freak out about. I like to liken it to like the football team that reviews the tape before they go and play that same team again. They learn from their mistakes and they make a different plan moving forward. So we're going to find out what it is that you're moving away from in Mercury retrograde season and what you're moving towards. This is a general advice, but it's also if you come up against an obstacle that Mercury retrograde places in your sphere, recognize what it is that it wants you to move away from and what it is that it wants you to move towards in that moment as well. So this could be like a travel detour, this could be a communication snafu with a friend, it could be a technological glitch. If those things happen, it's really bringing your attention to what's coming through here. So let's find out what they're moving away from. My beautiful sun in Aquarius. Let's see. Is this what they're moving away from? Okay, and what are they moving towards? This is a classic Rider-Waite tarot, by the way. Just got a cute little background on it. Actually don't know where this deck came from. I was gifted it. Like, I know who it came from, but I don't know, like, who produced it. Is this top card where they are going? Are these other cards part of this reading? So the Three of Swords is what you're going away from. You're turning away from this betrayal, this this need to forgive, this wounded energy. It could be the reason for the inauthenticity in your heart. It could be that you've been sabotaged and betrayed, and there's 3 swords, so there could be 3 players involved here in your heart, and that could be having you guard your heart and not share it authentically with the world around you. But it wants you to go from feeling wounded and need to forgive into the 2 of Pentacles. So this is the 2 of Earth. So this is the energy of balance. It's the energy of allowing yourself to balance. Okay, you see he's like juggling the 2 here. I want to say balancing your budget, but it's like your emotional budget instead of like a physical budget, right? Balancing your emotional energy, balancing your emotional outputs. Definitely setting the boundaries, right? I know that this boundary card kind of happens after the Mercury retrograde season is over, but maybe it's relevant before that too. So go from just this feeling wounded and this not wanting to forgive and the inauthenticity in your heart to like finding that balance, going towards something that helps you to feel balanced and stable. Maybe even just going into this meditation state that'll really support you, or just grounding yourself, because Pentacles are Earth signs, so it's the 2 of Pentacles, 2 of Earth. So it might just be a grounding of yourself to help get you out of this this pain, this wound, and get into a more balanced, grounded, centered space in the physical world, right? Maybe even go and do something that your intuition's telling you to do, because this is the card that showed up in your physical world. So maybe bringing yourself into this physical advice will help you there too. Yeah, and just being in the energy of appreciation, right? Even though maybe you don't know why this thing happened or why it was good, just appreciating that it happened, appreciating that it was part of your journey and letting it go. And moving into, maybe this is just you moving into appreciation of it, even though you don't really know why it happened. Okay? All right, my beautiful Sun in Aquarius, that is your reading. I hope it was supportive for you. Thank you so much for watching. If you decide to sign up, thank you so much for signing up. If you decide not to, this was a birthday gift anyway. It's totally cool. And I love you either way. I really appreciate your time, your energy, and the gift that you offer to this world. Thank you for stepping up and showing us all how to serve humanity in the way that you do. It is needed at this time, and we are following you. Thank you for your leadership. Thank you for your guidance, and thank you for the healing work that you're doing. We really appreciate it, and it is exemplary. So thank you. And as always, Namaste. The universal light within me salutes and honors the universal light within you. Namaste, my love.